What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here with another rebuild, talking about a team that made a move at the trade deadline, that being the Philadelphia 76ers. But the main thing with the Philadelphia 76ers is how much cap space they will have this offseason. So of course, they traded for Buddy Hield at the trade deadline to get some more help, which is great, but there is going to be a ton of cap space for this team going into the offseason, and it's already been said they may turn their attention to Paul George if he does not resign with the Los Angeles Clippers. So basically, my goal today is to make sure Tyrese Maxey stays, of course, and get this team another third star. So Embiid, Maxey, obviously here to stay. We got to find this team a third star. We'll see if we can accomplish that with free agency. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Of course, like I said, we are talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid at the moment is hurt. Will be reevaluated in like 4 weeks, I believe. Maxey, of course, has had a great season. But when you look at this team, there's so many expiring contracts. Tobias Harris is an expiring contract. Buddy Hield is an expiring contract. Oubre is a 1-year deal. Paul Reed, of course, locked up. Batum's a 1-year deal. Lowry, who they just got, is a 1-year deal. Obviously, didn't sign for $29 million, but whatever. Danilo Gallinari, I guess, signed with Philadelphia as well. I wasn't aware of that. Nice. Robert Covington, 1-year deal. Mo Bamba, so many expiring contracts. There's literally only like 2 people here, I believe, that are under contract for this season, which is kind of crazy. So if you look at the salary cap breakdown, yeah, basically only Joel Embiid and Paul Reed are under contract after the season, which is why this team's going to have a ton of cap space. So what our goal is to do is to sign Maxey back, of course. That's a done deal. We got to re-sign Maxey, no brainer there. And then get a third star, which has been said to maybe be Paul George, who apparently they'll turn their attention to, or whoever else is in free agency. So we'll figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and send me to the end of this season. Hopefully, Joel Embiid will be back very soon. But without further ado, let's see how season number 1 finishes out. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. And the way Prize Picks works is you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. There's so many stats to choose from, so many sports to choose from. Basically, it's you against the numbers. You see Chet Holmgren at 14.5. You can click over or under on that projection, and you can come down to a different team and say, you think Cam Thomas is scoring over 23.5 against Boston. Click more on the projection. It's that simple. If you want to start for Prize Picks, use code Crushables to match first positive dollar for dollar up to $100. Gives you an extra sweat while you watch sports. I absolutely love Prize Picks. And the way I use Prize Picks is I use DGF's optimizer and correlation tool. What the optimizer does, it gives you good plays without you having to do any research. It's literally right in front of you. Compares discrepancies across sports books. For this esports example, Danico, Prize Picks has them at 30.5, while Parlay Play and Underdog have them at 32. So you get a clear discrepancy here on Prize Picks. Same thing with De'Aaron Fox. There's no discrepancy, but you can see that the books are highly favoring De'Aaron Fox to go over. You're not finding this unless if you have a tool right in front of you like DGF's optimizer, which just gives you good plays right in front of you, which is really, really nice. If you want to sign up for DGF's optimizer, or they also have a correlation tool, which is also really nice. They just added an update where it actually builds out slips for you. So if you don't even want to have to build out your own slips, you can just come to this tab right here and have slips built for you, and you put them in. So for example, like this one on, well, I guess that's not a great example of one, but let's go to this underdog one. So right now, Armando Bacot, or however you say his name, over 11.5 rebounds assists, Snav over 15 kills, and Dan Skillings Jr. under 19, or Dan Skillings under 19.5 PRA. So it builds out a slip for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. Really nice update they added. If you want to check out any of these tools, all links are down in the description below. Use code Crushables, 25% off your first month here on DGF's tools. And then, like I said, Prize Picks matches your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. But let's get back to the rebuild. So here are your end of season awards. Obviously, usually always the same, so we're just going to go ahead and skim right through those. Joel Embiid, I don't think qualified to make any of the All-NBA teams, so he is not here, but he is back and healthy. We end up as the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, going up against the Knicks, which should be an interesting series. So you have Maxey, Melton, Nick Batum, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Kelly Oubre, Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry, Robert Covington, and that is our rotation. So I do believe we need to squeeze B-Ball Paul in here, though. Would like to do that if possible. So we're going to Paul Reed in over Covington, but other than that, let's see if we can beat the New York Knicks round 1, who, of course, got quite a bit of reinforcements at the deadline with Bojan, Alec Burks. They got OG Nobi as well at one point. So let's see if we can beat the Knicks in round 1. And so far, we are going to lose in 7 to the New York Knicks, which really, really sucks. We would have ran into Boston, and Boston has had Philly's number in the past. But you have the Mavericks going on to win the championship. So since the Mavericks have traded for Gafford and also PJ Washington, they are very favored in the simulation. I think that's 2 videos now where I've seen the Mavericks win the championship year number 1. So I don't know if it's going to be a trend going forward, but we'll see. Draft lottery time. 2K has it to where we have the Toronto Raptors pick. Still don't know why that is the case. That is definitely on the Spurs. So whatever this pick lands on, it does not matter. We do not have the 7th overall pick. I don't understand why the 76ers have it. That definitely belongs to the Spurs. So I'm going to go ahead and send that to them. And I have no idea why that's over. I literally have no idea why that's on the 76ers. So that pick does not belong to us. But other than that, we do have a late first rounder and a 4 second round pick. So I think I'm going to go ahead and package these 4 seconds, or at least 2 of them to maybe move up to like an extra pick potentially. So let's try to move up to like an extra pick, because we are about to sign a lot of money, or use a lot of money to, sign some free agents. So if we can find a way to get another good second round pick, like say the Rock, we can move up to 8. So we'll go to 8. And that's going to give us 3 good players we can draft with rookie scale contracts. So those are going to be very cheap still. So let's jump into, staff signing first and foremost. So we got to fill this out, and I'll see you guys on draft night, because we're going to need to obviously build around the edges here, because we're going to use a lot of money in free agency, and we're going to need some guys on rookie scale contracts probably to step up big time in the rotation. So let's go ahead and skip to pick number 23 on the board. That is going to be Dalton Knight. You have Kevin McCullough. You got Zach Edey, Tristan Da Silva, Adam Proctor. I'm going to go ahead and take Proctor to start this one. 6'5" guard out of Duke. Probably could contribute right away, honestly. We can take Tristan Da Silva here with this other pick. And then last but certainly not least, we have Edey. We have Bronny. We have Aaron Bradshaw. We could low-key sign... Bro, I said I was going to turn my attention to Paul George, but low-key, if we draft Bronny, we could lock up LeBron James. And I've seen him sign with the 76ers before. I don't know if I can afford both Maxey and LeBron, though. That's the only problem I have. So I'm going to go ahead and just draft Aaron Bradshaw. So we're going to draft Aaron Bradshaw. Could have drafted Bronny, though. That would have made a little bit of sense. So we're going to sign all of our second-round picks. So we're pretty happy about that. Well, all of our draft picks, not just second-round picks. But Kenneth Lofton and Maxey. Obviously, we want Tyrese Maxey back. Everyone else, I'm not too concerned about. Free agency. LeBron James this year. Maxey is the one that we're worried about. But we have $79 million. So we should be able to sign Maxey to a contract and then sign someone else. So that's going to leave us with about 41 million or so. Maxey is restricted, so I'm going to just try to offer him like 30 million. He might have another offer somewhere. He does not. So we probably could get him to sign that 30 million over 5 years, and that gives us about 41 million to spend, which is why I don't think I was going to be able to afford LeBron. He wants 53 million. So we have Siakam here. We have Claxton here. We have OG, Tobias Harris, of course. Paul George is the one I want, though, since he is the... Imagine we signed James Harden. That'd be funny. But, yeah, Paul George is the one I definitely want. So if I can get Paul George to sign here, that's what I want to do, just because that was already a rumor anyway. So we're going to offer him a contract. Right now, the Clippers have offered him a little bit more money. Let's see if I can offer something maybe a little bit better to get him to come over. So let's go Paul George one last time and offer. I'm probably going to have to offer up some more money, which is going to get a little bit tough. But let's say we did that. No trade clause in Paul George. What do you say to that? Where's number one offer now? So can I get Maxey and Paul George to sign is the question. So if we can, that's what I want to do. Let's see if we can do that. And it does not give me that ability. I had a feeling it was at me. So how far are we off from being able to sign Paul George? So we could actually low-key sign him, but it has to be right at the number we have it on right now. So I'm going to try no trade clause. That's about as much as we could throw at him. And where's number one offer still? So we can still get Paul George. We have to renounce literally everybody, but we got the third guy. And now we don't have a ton of other money to spend, but we can re-sign DeAnthony Melton, which is obviously going to be huge. We need that bench. We need bench pieces. So got DeAnthony Melton back. Mo Bamba. We have Paul Reed still, so we don't need Mo Bamba necessarily. Warren, Oladipo. So yeah, we're gonna have to try to build around the edges now. So I thought Proctor could maybe contribute right away. I was probably wrong. Only 72 overall. Melton would be our starting 2 guard at the moment. Paul George is our starting 3. And yeah, after that, it's a little ugly. But we got Paul George, which was the important part, which is what we wanted to do. But yeah, not a lot of money to spend on the bench at all. So that is the only concern I have. I think we easily got to target a starting power forward for sure. Where that comes from, Metu. We could re-sign Covington. We have Marcus Morris out here as well if we wanted to go back for him. It would be awesome if I could re-sign Tobias Harris, but I have to renounce him, obviously. So, yeah. I think right now our best bet is Robert Covington, which doesn't feel fantastic, but we're going to give him a 1-year deal anyway. So we're going to sign Covington to a 1-year deal. He goes to the Blazers, back to the Blazers, that is. So never mind, we're not getting him. Fontacchio might go for him as well. Jay Crowder, Kyle Anderson, Jeff Green, or that's Javonte Green, sorry. Kumoki. Not a lot of good options. Royce O'Neal wouldn't be a terrible option. I might go Royce O'Neal at the bottom here. So Royce O'Neal would be a decent starting power forward, and then we'll go to day 12 and see if we can convince anybody else to come here. So, yeah, not a lot of good options, obviously left. Cameron Payne, who just, got sent to Philadelphia. Probably gonna have to sign him to a minimum. Then we're gonna have to just keep minimum shopping at this point. Lendy Waters, could maybe get him on a minimum, so we'll go ahead and sign him. And then Joe Harris, Ish Wainwright, Otto Porter, Doug McDermott. Yeah, we're bargain shopping now. It's not great. So Marcus Morris Sr., Stanley Johnson, Lamar Stevens, Kevin Knox. We'll go Lamar Stevens here. And this is where the bench is going to be very, very underwhelming. And then I'll probably resign Marcus Morris at this point. I mean, I think that's the only other option we got. So we'll resign Morris, and then the bench is going to be very ugly, but I'll do my best to try to do something else. So I'm going to give him a little bit more than the minimum, just to see if we can send him in a trade somewhere. So that was our free agency. Not great. A bunch of minimum contracts, which is what we've run it. What you'd run into. Embiid is down. Maxey is up. Paul George is down. So after that, yeah, the bench is very, very bad. It's very, very bad. So not great at all. Royce O'Neal is our starting 4 at the moment. Actually, Tristan DeSilva would be our starting 4 if we kept it the way it is. But I won't give up just yet. I think I'm going to go try to make a trade for a backup wing, because that is going to be desperately needed at this point. So let's go see if we can do that. So the other wing we're going to go for is Saddiq Bey on the Atlanta Hawks. So how we're going to do this is we're going to have to offer Morris's salary and then also Aaron Bradshaw. So we'll do that. And we'll also offer a couple second-round picks to the Atlanta Hawks way to see if they'd be willing to give us Saddiq Bey. They say no right away. I'm willing to throw a third second in here. They agree. So just like that, Saddiq Bey was a desperate piece. We needed him in the worst way possible. So what I've done is I've actually moved Paul George to the shooting guard spot. So it'll be Maxey, Cameron Payne, Paul George, D'Anthony Melton, Royce O'Neal, Lendy Waters, Saddiq Bey, Tristan DeSilva will play right away, Embiid, and Paul Reed. That doesn't look too bad, especially after everything, what it used to be. It's not terrible. It could be worse. We're working with what we got. We spent all of our money on Paul George, and then after that, we really couldn't do too much. But I still think we put together a solid team with the little bit of money we had left. So I feel very, very solid. Of course, the starting small forward spot, it isn't great. It isn't great, but with going for Paul George and then re-signing Maxey, forming this big 3, that was bound to happen. So proficiency, 3.5 at grit and grind, but it can be a 4-star perimeter centric or it can be a 4-star balance. Perimeter centric or balance. We'll probably run a balance system. It seems like Royce O'Neal runs that just a little bit better. But yeah, Saddiq Bey, very, very important add to the team. I think without him, this rotation would look really, really bad, but thankfully we were able to get to him. So this is what it looks like. Maxey, Paul George, Royce O'Neal, Saddiq Bey, Joel Embiid. Not too bad. It could be better, like I said, but we'll take it. D'Anthony Melton, Paul Reed, Lendy Waters, and Cameron Payne. Again, is it the best? Not at all, but we will absolutely take it. One thing we'll also do is we'll move Proctor to the G League, and then Tristan DeSilva is right out of the rotation, so we're gonna actually send him to the G as well. We might as well go ahead and do that. So I have to sign one player, which funny enough, we don't have like a lot of money to spend. Imagine we were able to bring Markelle Fultz back to Philadelphia. That'd be really cool, but unfortunately, Tyus Jones would be a steal as well, but we're not gonna be able to afford any of those guys, which really sucks. Taj Gibson, or that's Tommy Gibson. It really doesn't matter who we get. I just need someone to stay at the end of the bench so I can send Tristan DeSilva back to the G, or send him to the G, and boom, we got it going. All right, so Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Royce O'Neal, Saddiq Bey, Joel Embiid. Want to look at shot tendencies really quickly. So Embiid's is good, Maxey's is good, and Paul George's is good. So I'm going to move Maxey's up to a 90. Other than that, we are ready to roll. So hopefully with the Paul George addition, this team is still going to be a really good team in the Eastern Conference. We will see what happens. So at the end of the season, Luka Doncic wins MVP, Stars Rookie of the Year, Cameron Thomas 6th Man, Wembanyama Defensive Player, Most improved goes to Chet. Trae Young, clutch player. Nick Nurse, coach of the year at 57 and 25. So a very, very good season. And B this time does make an All-NBA first team. It would be cool if we saw Maxey on here as well, but highly doubtful. Offense first team, offensive second team, all rookie first team, all rookie second team. So we are the first team in the Eastern Conference. Things went very well this year, which is great because I thought our rotation was a little thin, but it still worked, which is what we wanted. So 32 from Joel Embiid, 25 from Maxey, 21 from Paul George, 13 from Bay, and then 10 from Melton, 9 from Paul Reed, and then 5.5 from Lonnie Waters, 5 from Cameron Payne, and then 4 from Royce O'Neal. So not too bad. And next year, we'll actually be able to have some rookies join the rotation because these guys should go up in theory after being in the G League. But we'll see what happens. We get the Boston Celtics in round 1. A team that has given the Philadelphia 76ers problems in the past. It would be great if we can get revenge finally on this team. We will see if we could do just that. Somebody come around against Boston, and we are going to beat them in 5. So finally, we take care of the Boston Celtics. We get the Chicago Bulls in round 2. The team is the same. They have Lonzo Ball back, though. Yeah, literally the team has not changed other than they drafted Montez Buzelis. So, yeah, hopefully we can beat the Bulls, and we are going to beat them in 6. So, very tough series, but we still beat them. I know I get Cleveland, which is probably our biggest threat. They got Kelly Oubre, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen Levert, Coro, Craig Porter, Mitchell, and Garland. So, game by game here. Game 1, 137-111. Good start. Game 2, 2-0. So far, so good, but they can even it up at any moment, and they do just that. So, they want to go ahead and fix our rotation a little bit, so we'll do just that, and let's see if we can win this Game 5. This is a pivotal Game 5 victory at home. Obviously, we do not want to blow this, so if we can win this one, that gives us an advantage, and that's what we want, and we are going to win it. So we win Game 5. Let's go Simcast Game 6 as well. So once again, they want to give less minutes. They want to actually start Lenny Waters for this game. We'll do that. So Lenny Waters is someone I never signed, but hey, he's doing his job, which is what we can ask for. So let's see if we can come out here and win this Game 6. It looks like we're going to Game 7. So Game 7, made it close to the end somewhat. Game 7 in Philly. Can we get to the NBA Finals, or Cleveland going to have our number here? It looks like they are going to beat us. Man, Cleveland is one of those teams. Well, we're down 10. We're still down 10. I was about to say we kind of made it close, but yeah, I think we're done for. So Cleveland, they give us the problems we didn't want, but they beat us. No surprise there. They're always tough to beat. So Cleveland and New Orleans, Cavaliers going to win the championship. All right, so let's get to work again. LeBron James retires. Let's go to the lottery. And, lottery's really not going to affect us. We probably don't even have our pick to begin with here. So our pick is going to Oklahoma City. No surprise there. Staff signing, Nick Nurse. And then we could fill out these other 2 positions with just, whoever we see. So, Shot Doctor, we'll take Webb. And then Wing Whisperer, we'll go ahead and take whoever. We'll take Ryan Williams. So we'll take that. Have those guys. Let's go straight to draft night. And let's see what we can do on draft night. Do we have any picks at all? None. So no picks. We have Royce O'Neal, Lenny Waters contract, Paul Reed's contract, but I'm just going to skip past the draft. Tristan De Silva accepting that one. Qualifying offers, Lenny Waters. Probably somebody I do want back, low-key. And then free agency. We do have the ability to sign at least one good player, and let's make sure we resign Sadiq Bey first and foremost. That's going to be a very, very important re-sign. So we'll re-sign Sadiq Bey, huge starting power forward, and then we still have the money to sign one last player. So Caruso would be my ideal candidate, but I know he goes down in overall. TJ McConnell, Jose Alvarado. Alvarado wouldn't be too bad either, although I might be confident in Proctor being able to be the backup point guard this year. So I think, if anything, we should be looking to sign a small forward, probably. That's probably where we should be turning our attention to. So small forward, not a lot of good options. Najee Marshall, Chuma Kiki, so no one really sticks out to me. Is there any small forward that I can maybe squeeze out? Exum would be like kind of ideal. Oshai Abaji almost wouldn't be too bad either. I don't know how far off I am from being able to sign him, but I'd probably have to wait till day 12 to get him to try. Lenny Waters we can get back, hopefully. But let's go to day 12 and see if we can squeeze someone out here on day 12, starting small forward, and we'll look there. So small forwards, let's see, is there any? So Okoro is here. Probably not going to be able to get him, but that would honestly be awesome. He says no. Small forwards, once again, Moses Moody, Warren, Jordan Nwora, Zaire Williams, asking for $10 million. It's kind of crazy. And then Fontacchio is here, Dylan Terry. No one that sticks out to me. Kenyon Martin Jr. was here at one point as well, but yeah, not really seeing anything that sticks out to me. Is there a power forward maybe that's here? Williams, if he wasn't asked for so much. Corey Kispert, Santi Aldama, Trey Lyles, Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac is kind of interesting. Grant Williams also isn't too bad. I know his stint in Dallas didn't last very long, but shot 39% from 3 last year. I might go Grant Williams. I think Grant Williams would actually be a pretty solid get for a starting small forward, and we got him. So I feel good about that. He's up to a 77. If I move him to the 3, he does go up. So I think that's actually going to be a really solid get in day 12 of free agency. So not a huge upgrade by any means, but definitely one that helps us a ton. Now, the moment of truth is seeing if Proctor's up to 76, which is great, and Tristan DeSilva is up to 75. So Proctor's unlocked being the backup point guard, which is great. But other than that, Tristan DeSilva not going to be in the rotation probably because Grant Williams is just an addition we just made. And of course, we also have Proctor, who's probably going to take that spot rather than him. So Power going to let us 7th overall. Proficiency is 4-star balance. So let's take a look at the rotation. So it's going to be Maxey, Paul George, Royce O'Neal, Sadiq Bey. They still want to start Royce O'Neal, which I'm fine with. Joel Embiid, D'Anthony Melton, Grant Williams, Paul Reed, and Lindy Waters, which I'm okay with. I actually might even take Proctor and put him in at this spot, so you have a backup point guard in the rotation. But yeah, hopefully this is going to lead to another good season. Maybe this year it ends in a championship. We'll see what happens. If I do stop at the deadline and make another move, I'll show you. But probably don't plan on it. Kind of like the rotation as is, but we'll see how things are going at the deadline. So at the end of year number 3, decided not to stop at the deadline because things were going fairly well. So let's go ahead and see if we can go win this championship. So let's take a look at the stats first and foremost. So yeah, 30 points from Embiid, 24 from Maxey, 21.5 from Paul George, 12 from Sadiq Bey, 9 from Grant Williams, and 9 from D'Anthony Melton. So in round 1, we draw the Pacers. Halliburton, Nembhard, Mathurin, Siakam, Miles Turner. Very good Indiana team, but hopefully we don't lose them. They drop or they win game 1, but we beat them in 5 other than that. Now we get the Miami Heat. Rozier, Hero, Butler, K.O. Martin, Bam Adebayo, Jaime Jaquez, Ron Holland. Very solid Miami team. Let's see if we can beat them, and we are going to sweep them. And now we get the New York Knicks. So this time we do not have to deal with the Cavs, but the Knicks did beat us year 1. So game 1, 1-0. Great start. 42 from Embiid, 29 from Maxey. Game 2. So far, we're just dominating the Eastern Conference, 2-1. New York is going to even it up. Can we win? Can we beat them in 6? No, go to a game 7. All right. Game 7 in Philly. Hopefully, we can find a way to win this matchup here and get to the NBA Finals. I would hate for us to be in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row just to lose. That would really suck. And we are going to have a close one here. We are going to beat them, though. So we are in the NBA Finals going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have Shea, Giddey, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Chet, OG, Karen Thomas, Wallace, and Sally. I don't even know how to say that name, but OG goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's only current round, 3-1 lead for them. And are we going to fall short to this Thunder to end the video? I think we are, unless if we come back. Paul George's former squad. We might be able to get back in this game here. We did for a second, but we are going to ultimately fall short and lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Guys, I'm going to end it on that note. Paul George is only going to keep getting worse at 36 years old. I don't think we have any chance of continuing to win a championship here. Tried our best, but unfortunately, it just was not meant to be. Hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. Got to the finals in the last season. Thunder, of course, you run into them. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Comment down below any other video you guys want to see. This is Crushables. I'm saying thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.